and welcome to episode 186 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And we are Dungeons & Dragons social commentary podcast where we focus on the social aspect of D&D.
We give out advice to players and dungeon masters, old and new.
And the most important thing we believe in is creating a safe, welcome, and inclusive space in the TTRPG community.
So if that sounds good to you, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, if that sounds good to you, get out of here.
Sounds good to you, leave a comment down below. If that sounds
ring
good
the
to
bell.
You, ring the bell. And click the thumbs up button while you're there.
Hi everyone,
What's
how
happening?
are you doing? Oh wow, wonderful to see you. Feels like ages since we recorded. Don't know why.
It does. I think it's because we did a lot last week.
You know what? We there's been a lot of actual things happening. Yeah,
I mean, it was your birthday.
Yeah, my birthday.
It was your birthday. You turned 31.
I did
We
turn
went,
31.
We played D&D for your birthday.
Yeah.
We went out for your birthday.
Yeah, we got a Burger King.
You got a Burger King.
Whole
And
squad.
you got a Nando's.
And I got a Nando's. Yeah. Thank you very much to everyone who said happy birthday.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. So many of you
Remember
on my
it was our
actual birthday on Discord said happy birthday. So thank you.
And in last week's video.
And
as
on
well.
last week's video. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm really feeling the love, feeling very, very, very appreciated. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I had a great birthday.
Good. I'm glad you did.
We got to play D&D. We hung out with the friends.
Yeah.
Went shopping. Got something to eat.
Classic WoW servers launched.
Classic WoW service launched.
So
Played web fishing with Matthew,
Yeah.
which was a treat.
we went out and bought you a bunch of picture frames for all your D&D character ass.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good time.
It was a pretty good time.
That sounds like all the things that you care about doing, you did.
I'm having a
on
pretty
your
good
birthday,
time
which
on my
was-
birthday.
I'm having a pretty good time
I'm
on my
having a pretty
birthday.
good time on my birthday.
I'm having a pretty good time on my birthday.
It was great. Thank you.
Oh my god.
What was that on my lip?
On my lips.
Oh no. What was that? Oh.
It was dry lip skin.
Yes. It didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, it was something. Let me tell you that for free.
Yeah. I mean, dry lip skin is something.
It is. It is exactly.
Hey,
It falls
I'm
into the
not wrong.
category of something.
It falls into the category of something.
How are
It
you?
definitely is something. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm feeling.
A bit squinkly.
Yeah, I feel a little sick today. I feel like really warm and Oh, you know what? Can't even feel. Oh no, I can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, no, I can.
It just took some travel time.
No, I can.
It'll be with you in six to seven business days.
No, thank you. Perfect. Yeah, I don't know. I feel a little sick today. I feel a little I don't know. Just when you just don't feel 100% right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bit of a headache.
That was me yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a headache yesterday.
Yeah.
But that was because I have such bad neck pain at the minute.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't know what's going on with my neck.
Mm.
It's been like a underlying thing for a while now.
Yeah.
And it keeps like flaring up and getting bad. But recently it's been so bad it's been giving me a headache, which has been, not great.
No, categorically
So,
not great. No.
That's not fun. But apart from that, brilliant.
Good.
I couldn't ask for.
Good.
You know?
Good. Yeah, I think I got a bit of a sore throat. You know what? I earlier on. So I get ready and then Jack sets up the set. I let him know when I'm about 10 minutes away from being ready so he can set the set up. And I called through and my voice was so weird. I heard you pause whatever you were listening to.
I'm about 10 minutes away.
And you were like,
What?
what did you just say? Yeah, I think I'm a little sick. I don't
A
know.
little under the weather?
I'm a little under the weather. I don't know.
No.
I'm trying to think of other things to tell you guys, but I
Both playing a druid? on
both
Classic WoW?
both playing a drone and classic WoW. Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, classic WoW, which is just a re-release of the game as it was in 2004.
With a handful of great changes.
Yeah.
To make the game just a little bit more palatable.
Yeah.
Because, the game launched in 2004. It wasn't perfect. It was amazing.
Of course,
but it
yeah,
wasn't perfect.
of course.
And they've released a few changes to the game that have
Yeah.
just made it a little bit better. And it's
Yeah.
as if it's launching in 2004, and it is so busy.
It is. It's so busy, and they basically
Which is
just
great.
released
Released.
brand new servers on that, so it's like a fresh economy. If you don't know, in any MMO, like a play around economy is like a really big thing, and it's really exciting. And a few of our friends, I think, God, a lot of our mods are playing.
Yeah, the mods want to play. So
Yeah,
I think
mods are playing. I
there's
think Vince is playing.
I think
Adam's
there's-
playing.
Me, you, Jard Wabs, Ratty P, Adam, Vince.
Yeah,
That's who's playing right
Was there
now.
someone else?
I don't think so.
You know what? I'm thinking about Matthew for yesterday for Word Fiction.
Yeah, he
Matthew
was playing
would
Word Fiction.
never play.
He would never play
Classic WoW.
because he's a coward.
Yeah, let it be
Yeah,
heard, let it
you
be
heard it
known.
first.
Yeah. So that's very exciting. But apart from that, I honestly don't really have much else to report.
Great birthday.
Yeah, great birthday. Thank you.
Some big day classic WoW tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good stuff.
Yeah.
Before we get into the topic, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Go check out our Pride collection, which is now live. 10% of all hoodies and all t-shirts from the Pride collection will be going to a local charity to us, Heart Gables, which is an LGBTQIA plus charity for our local area in the northeast of England. Make sure you come and join us on Twitch every Friday, every Sunday, and every other Tuesday. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, please go and check out our Patreon in the description for more exclusive content from me and Margaret.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, Patreon. Good.
Yay.
Thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
Like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams.
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
So today we are doing the best on r/D&D. We're going through the Reddit.
We're going through it, baby.
We're going
We're
through
going
it.
through it.
We're going through the Reddit.
We're going through it right
So-
now here on the podcast.
As you know, we just take some of the top posts from this month on Reddit for November, and at the end we always shout out two artists or small businesses. So we start.
One of the arts.
One of the
Just
arts
prepare yourself.
is so good. So, the first post we have is titled "A Terrible PC Death." Here is an awful PC death for you to laugh at, criticize, or react to in whatever twisted way you desire.
Okay.
My level 10 party has been fetching a Vorpal sword for their employer for some time now. If you're not already aware, a Vorpal sword is a legendary weapon that states, when you attack a creature that has at least one head with this weapon and you roll a natural 20 with the attack roll, you cut off the creature's head. There's a whole bunch more, but that's the crux. Hey, look, that's the crux of the story. I don't want to say subtle foreshadowing,
Yeah.
but that's the crux of the story. Halfway through some gruesome dungeon crawl, the party finally finds the wielder of the sword and promptly relieves him of its ownership.
Very good.
During this quest, the wizard and the bard have both been nearly killed by Bodax, but were both restored to life by our beloved cleric, Baldacor. It was a rough journey, but eventually the dust settled and the party nestled into a dungeon chamber for a well-earned long rest. Wanting to turn the sword in quickly, the players opted to give it to an NPC companion,
Oh.
a suave, smooth-talking fiend named Battle. They asked him to return it to their quest giver immediately while they continue exploring the dungeon and searching for more loot. Battle was ecstatic to be granted permission to carry such a weapon. He excitedly asks the party if he's allowed to use it on his journey. I would love to make some heads roll before I turn it in. The party agrees, and Battle prepares to leave. Suddenly, Baldacor, a lover of violent humor, yells out, "Let's practice now!" The player describes lurching forward and swinging his great axe at Battle. Fueled by his desire to try the weapon, the fiend Battle attempts a strike of his own. I, the DM, allow the player and the NPC one attack roll each.
Natural 20!
In my mind, I imagined after the Vorpal sword failed him, Battle would become disappointed by its legendary history. It would no longer interest him. It's all tail, no power. After all, it only has a 5% chance of demonstrating its true power.
There's no way that you're going to roll that.
There's no
one
way.
attack that you roll.
5%.
Right?
But as fate would have it, Battle rolls a natural 20. Half of the party knew what this meant, but the other half had no clue what was in store in the coming seconds.
Oh, God.
There was much laughter about their companion scoring a crit against the cleric. Some asking how much damage he'd taken and if he was still conscious. But only a few knew the true reality. A natural 20 with a Vorpal sword means instant decapitation.
Oh, that's exactly what it means. That is exactly what it means.
Baldacor, standing in his mighty armor, smile upon his face, feels a white-hot fire burn in his throat as the blade begins to glow and passes through his neck like a knife through butter. The party stands in silence as players begin looking up the weapon stats again. Baldacor stares blankly at Battle. He speaks. That didn't go like I thought. His head falls and rolls across the room. His body still standing in place, weapon limp by his side. A warrior, a healer, a friend gone too soon, fallen at the hands of an ally. As I was told earlier today, the dice are cruel and fickle masters. R.I.P. Baldacor, level 10 cleric.
Level 10? Oh my god.
He revived both the wizard and the bard today, but ultimately could not revive himself.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
man.
this if you were to open up the dictionary
Oh.
and flick to the page that says
fuck around and
fuck
find
around
out.
and find out,
Oh, yeah.
underneath there would be a description or a picture of this exact
Yes.
moment.
Oh my god, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the thing is, it's like if you've just gone on a quest, if you've just gone on a quest to get this item, it's a particular item that somebody wants because of its unbelievable capabilities to behead people, and then the dungeon master rolls the 20 and then doesn't do it, it feels bad. But at the same time,
I agree.
It's like,
I agree.
oh,
I agree. Well, there is some clarification here.
My Quewick, my level 10 Quewick.
My Quewick.
What about my level 10 Quewick?
So, there was a comment that said, "Got yourself a real running with scissors party there. I'm glad they took it well, question mark." OP replied saying, "Definitely. The player had already told me all about his new character and said he was starting to think of new characters as soon as he read the description of the sword after Battle hit him. And that his character died doing something his character's violent sense of humor is what got him killed. He loved it." So
this is the thing. It's like, if I did this to one of my party members, everyone would be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's not the game that we're playing. But if people are like happy to like bring in new characters,
totally.
then it doesn't matter. Like,
Absolutely not. Yeah.
If the cleric specifically is cool with it, and they
which
were
they
excited
are.
to bring in a new character, and they felt like this character had come to the end,
and
they fall to a natural 20 on a Vorpal sword.
Yeah,
It's
and
what
you
it
know
is,
what?
you know?
Just the whole the fact that it's just kind of funny to them is great. Honestly, is great, and
great.
that is absolutely. In that situation, then who gives a fuck? Because everyone
Everyone's having a great
enjoyed it,
time.
and everyone's exactly.
And it's probably one of those moments you'll look back on and remember being like,
"Oh my god!"
Do you remember when you decapitated me with
God.
the Vorpal sword?
Literally, this is going to be one of the moments where you talk about every time you get together
Forever.
for Christmas with your friends. You talk about this story. Like it's a hilarious story.
That's just D&D.
That is honestly,
I have a
that's
5%
just D&D.
chance. There's no way, right?
Yeah, and again,
Right.
you know what? It's because some people did know what the properties are. As a DM, that puts you in a really difficult position because it's like you don't want to kill your level 10 cleric when you're just messing around.
2 or 3 people of the party, as soon as the dungeon master says natural 20, all 3 of them just turned and looked at the dungeon master.
Literally.
And the other 3 were like, so how much damage does it do, huh?
Yeah, and you know what? It's the fact, from what I'm gathering, the cleric didn't know what the properties were, but the cleric was still fine with it.
Yeah.
I think, you look up, fuck around, and find out, and you got this.
That's the definition.
Yeah, 100%.
That is the definition of fuck around and find out.
Oh, R.I.P. Baldacor.
Yeah.
Gone too soon. Gone too soon.
07s for Baldacor in the comments. 07s for our level 10 cleric, Baldacor.
Oh dear.
Baldacor's a cool name, by the way.
Baldacor is a really cool name. So this next one, this has an image attached to it.
Oh yes, I've seen the one with the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the title of this is "Actual Picture of Players Putting Together a Year and a Half of Clues." And listen, if this isn't me,
You? Yeah.
I don't know
This
what
is you. This is literally you.
This is genuinely, literally me.
You'll find a note in your book, you put
Yeah.
your finger on it, and you hold your hand up, and you're like,
Yep.
wait.
Yep. I regularly go back through and I highlight things that are relevant, and this is me jumping through all my highlighter things.
Yeah.
You know what? I wish I could make a board. And you can
You
see
can make a board.
there's a board, there's all sorts of different ties. I love it. And the caption is, "The false Hydra is real. Permission was asked and received to show off them and their work to you wonderful Redditors."
Amazing.
Now, before anyone asks how this is art, both photography and the evidence board are art.
Of course they are.
Agreed.
Of course they are.
The first clue might arguably have been in Game 0, when I asked if everyone would be okay if we sort of hand-wave any players that have to drop out, but that is a little meta. In the game, the first clue was a letter found in a pocket in Game 2 or 3. Over the course of 28 games and countless Discord half sessions, monsters out of their league died time and time again. Never so too extraordinary that it was a stretch. A believable stretch, I think, but it was always a CR a little bit over their heads.
Okay.
Occasionally, fights would have little retcons of, oh wait, no, that works. I would say something a little off and then go, never mind, don't worry about it. I suspect they justified it as me being befuddled. And I'll admit that does happen, but I've been accepting of that myself and in this game. They have since caught glimpses of the creature, and they and all but live in Elle's tiny hut. All told, best Halloween adjacent game I ever had the pleasure to DM. Hey, you know what? Don't know what that means. Hey, look, I'm confused too. But basically, if you didn't get it, Toulon didn't read False Hydra. They worked out that false Hydra. They worked out that it was a false Hydra.
And do you want to know what? When a dungeon master uses their own like befuddlement as like a guise or a ruse for the party, it's like I remember when I did it. I did it once to you when there was an NPC that was actually hiding in plain sight as another. They were just like magically cloaked.
Yeah.
I made a comment that they shouldn't know anything about. And then you turned to me and you went, "What did she just say?"
Yeah.
And I just ignored you and carried on with the roleplay.
Yeah.
And then you didn't say anything else and you were like, "What the hell?" And then later on, I brought it out and you were like,
I knew it.
But it's just, it's playing into the narrative.
It is.
That I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it
things
it is.
So using that and like subtle retcons.
Yeah, totally.
Being like, I'm actually retconning this, and the player's like,
actually, that does work. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
But really,
There's
a far bigger hand at play here than I think you think there is. That's really cool.
I
That's
agree.
great. And the thing is, for a bunch of players who maybe don't know what a false Hydra is,
and
they've just had a great time. It's like that's why I think a false Hydra is great when you're gonna really surprise the players.
Totally.
And I think I love that. I think that's really cool.
I
That's
agree.
amazing. Well done.
And I just love the board. Hey, look, I just love the board.
Oh my god, the board is hilarious.
Oh my god, the board.
It's giving Charlie.
Yeah, it is. No, yeah, it
Charlie
is.
from Bizarre with Sunny.
No, it is. This next one, the title is, my Earth Genasi player is arguing that he should be able to swim into lava. He fell into a pool of lava at the end of our session. Actually, he was pushed in by another player due to a disagreement, but that is not the subject of this post.
Okay.
And now he is arguing that as an Earth Genasi should be able to swim through the lava. To back up his argument, he is using this. Earthwalk. You can move across difficult terrain made of earth or stone without expending extra movement.
Okay.
So the reasoning is that since lava is technically just liquid stone and a pool of lava is difficult terrain, he should be able to move easily in this terrain, aka swim through the lava. Is he right?
No.
Is there any piece of D&D legislation that clarifies the limits of the Earthwalk rule? It feels like this is not how the rule was meant to be used. And to clarify, it's a high-level character with a shit ton of HP and fire resistance, so he may be able to survive long enough for this to be important.
So I was gonna say, with Earthwalk, you still take fire damage.
Yeah.
This person has fire resistance, which is nothing to do with Earthwalk. They just have fire resistance. Yeah. So the thing is, it's just like, you're right. Maybe it doesn't impede you in terms of movement.
Yeah.
I would say that because it's molten rock, like liquefied, so unbearably hot rock that it's actually melted stone, that you should be able to move through it freely, no impediment on your movement speed. But it is still so...
It's still gonna hurt you.
It's still melting stone.
Yeah.
so it's still hot.
Yeah, and the thing is, I guess it's important to know why they want this. Do they want this to say, so I don't take any damage?
That's why they
Because
want it.
if that's the case, you absolutely, there is no world in which you would not take damage from landing in lava. And if I'm being so real here, I wouldn't even entertain the Earthwalk conversation. Honestly, I wouldn't.
What,
because,
for movement?
Yeah, because
I
honestly,
would. I would totally would.
See, look, it's like saying ketchup is tomatoes, right?
Yeah,
it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's made out of tomatoes. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's the same. You know, I would say lava, technically in the real world, sure, is made out of molten rock. But listen, it's lava. No.
See,
that's just me.
To me, I think it's really thematic that they don't get slowed down by lava. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Look, the amount of times you're going to be in lava in a game
Yeah.
is so little because do you know how dangerous it is?
No, I don't.
It is unbelievably
I
dangerous.
can listen. I can imagine.
Like, it is. I can't remember the exact amount of D6s, but it's a lot.
Shall I see if I can find out?
Oh my god, Margaret! It is just like how much damage does lava do D&D?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like 10d6 around or something like that.
Let's
it's
see.
Stupid.
It would help if I spelt lava correctly.
Lavra.
Uh,
Llama. How much is it?
So, if you're standing on it or only touching it with 2 limbs, you take 4d10. You take 10d10 if you're prone or wading through it, and you take 18d10 if you're fully submerged.
Yeah, that's 60 points of damage around
Woo.
average, and you would be resistant to probably 30 points of damage per round.
Yeah,
But still, that's so much damage.
Yeah,
because
totally.
you're resistant.
Yeah, I don't see a world in which you wouldn't take the damage.
Oh, you 100% take the damage.
Yeah, and again, I would be like, no.
Yeah.
Earthwalk isn't applicable here. But hey, you know what, Jack? That's why I'm not the DM.
Yeah, to me, I think it's really thematic that, you know, it's like the whole point of being Earth, actually when you do that Earth glide thing, is you, I don't know, it's just like you're one with the Earth.
Yeah.
And it's just like things that are made out of ground and rock and stone.
Yeah.
No matter what form it takes, lava or not,
Yeah.
like you move through it unimpeded.
Yeah.
I just think that's just super thematic.
You know what? That's cool. You know what? I take it back. You know what? Yeah, that's cool. You know what? Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Cool.
I take it back.
Hey, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
I'm
like,
in agreement with you, actually.
If
yeah.
Earth Genasi said to me, I don't feel like I should be impeded by, I would be like, do you want to know what? I think that's sick.
That's
and
fine.
I love that.
Me being like, no, brother.
But the thing is, I think when you're being like, no, because they're like, I don't even think I should take damage. It's just like,
see, the thing
you should definitely be taking damage.
I honestly don't even know if that's what the player's trying to say here, because the thing is, they clarified that they have a lot of HP and fire resistance, so we may be able to survive. I wonder if they're just saying, look, I know I'm going to take the damage. Can I say I'm not impeded by it so I can get out quicker to give myself the best chance to live?
And if that's the case, I think so. I think it's super. I think if you came to me and said the argument that I just said out loud, I would be like 100%.
Yeah.
Because I just think that's embodying who you are and thinking of reasons why things shouldn't bother you because of who you are as a person.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Jack. You know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's cool, though.
Yeah.
But you are definitely taking a lot of damage.
Also, who's party members pushing each other into lava?
What? I feel a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, it's going to be fire damage. Nope. It is lava damage. And it is so unbelievably dangerous.
Uh-oh.
If you see lava in game, stay far away from
it. Uh-oh.
It's not good. It's not good.
Interesting. You know what? I tried to see if there was an update to this. There wasn't. Boo.
Boom.
Boo. Boo. The next one.
That's a great story, though. That's a good talking point, I think.
I agree. The next one, the title is Not Every Session is a Banger and Your Games Don't Supersede Life. A public service announcement for anyone who needs to hear it. Just DM'd a one-shot that was not my best. I went in confident in my skills and my plan, but for some reason it just didn't pan out. The NPC voices felt off, the pacing was inconsistent, and the players seemed lost. During the final fight, I had to pause to take an important call, and I rushed the ending as a result. Dungeons and Dragons can be one of the most fun hobbies, but it's also important to remember that not every session will be a 10 out of 10.
So
No
true.
one stays locked in 100% of the time. It's important to remember that for yourself, your DM, and for your fellow players. And it's also always okay to ask for a break. Remember, this is a hobby, not an obligation. Have you ever found yourself needing to take an extended breather from the table?
I think this for multiple reasons.
Mhm.
So, like, yeah, sometimes moments just aren't going to hit like you think they are, and that's totally fine. Like, and then sometimes moments hit far harder than you thought they were going to.
Yeah.
Because as a dungeon master with the curse of knowledge, you know all these twists and turns from the get-go, and your players don't. So when you reveal something and they're like, oh, no way, you're like, yes, oh my god,
Yes.
what a big reveal.
Yes.
But also sometimes you reveal something and it just falls a little flatter than you would have liked, and there's nothing wrong with that. But also I think this for the reason of you are my prime example with this, and I hope you don't mind me using you for this. Is when I dungeon master for the first time, I had these like big moments, I had these like big speeches and these big anime scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you DMs after me, I think that was in your head.
It was,
and you wanted to make every session this
big cinematic
and that's great, like to want that, but you can't do it every session.
No. Oh my god, no. For a lot of reasons. You can't do it as the DM because then it becomes a case of, well, I did this last session, so I
how do I top it?
I have to do this, and I have to do this, and then you oh my gosh, the quickest way to burn out ever, by the way.
God, the quickest way to burn out on earth.
And then, your players also, they get used to having this like high level of, I don't know what the word is, but that your players get used to it, and then when the bar is up here constantly, that becomes the standard. And then raising the bar from this standard here to here is almost impossible.
It's impossible.
It
Every
is.
session. For so many reasons as well, because like that exact thing, it's like burnout is you're so quick to burn out. 2 is moments are only big and epic because of what led up to that moment.
Yeah, totally.
So it's not the case. Moments can be big and epic, full stop.
Oh yeah.
But the reason why they feel big and epic
It's
usually
a build up,
is
yeah.
because of how we got there.
Yeah.
The weight behind it is what's made it this massive moment.
Totally.
And if you try and do that every session, it's just like it's not going to happen because it's not got the weight behind it
Yeah.
to be awesome.
Yeah, and I don't want to use. I'm using the word monotony, but not. I'm not saying D&D is monotonous because it's not, because it's a game we play for fun. But I feel like the monotony of life makes those moments more special.
100% agree.
You have to go through not only the lows to experience the highs. You have to go through
the journey.
Yeah, exactly. It's, as Miley Cyrus once said,
It's the climb.
It's the climb.
It's the climb.
It's the climb.
It's the climb. And that's true. It's like Lord of the Rings. The reason why the ending is so when you see Mr. Frodo after he's put the ring into the fire and he's just laying there, and like when Sam carries him that last time, it's just because they've gone that entire way. They start off in the Shire. They form the Fellowship. They lose everyone. Gollum. Sam turns his back on him. And that moment where he picks him up and he carries him that last bit so he can throw it in, it's just like, that's only that because of everything that's come before it.
I agree.
You can't have an epic. And with this person, sometimes people just aren't as interested in certain stories as others.
Totally,
and
absolutely, totally.
That's why it's like I could run 2 stories back to back that I think are amazing for the same group, and because my one group loves vampires, they really resonated with the vampire campaign, and weren't so bothered about the goblin campaign.
Yeah,
but they were equally as awesome, but things just resonate differently.
Yeah.
And do you want to know what I will say? That whole the voices didn't come out. Your players aren't thinking that.
Oh no, God no.
Your players aren't thinking
God,
that.
No, God
That's a you in your head thing.
Totally, but even then, a you in your head thing contributes to the overall.
It does
feeling,
contribute,
right?
I agree.
Like especially the thing is, like, you can go in. Let's use OP's example here. You can be like, I have this idea for a one shot. There's going to be this, and this, and it's going to work out this way.
Yeah.
It's going to be a one shot, and then you actually get into the game.
You play it for 6 months.
Yeah. Honestly, it goes over, or the idea you had in your head, because it was just in your head, when it actually gets onto the table, you can be like, oh, actually, that didn't actually plan out exactly.
Maybe just didn't translate as well.
Yeah, and that's very normal.
There are certain things that just do not translate as well to a table of D&D, and that's fine. That you see in like popular media.
Totally.
There's loads of things. I've tried so many things
Yeah.
and think that some do great, mentioned,
mentioned.
and some don't do as well, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, totally. And I think what OP says at the end there, like it's important to remember this is a hobby, not an obligation.
Nope.
And it feels like an obligation sometimes. I think especially for the DM.
Especially when you got burnout.
Oh my God, 100%. Because, you know, the DM, you're essentially putting on a show once a week, every 2 weeks, every month, however often you play, you're kind of putting on a show and you're facilitating a space for you and your friends to all gather, to be social, to play a game together that abides by rules that you are the adjudicator of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it can feel like an obligation sometimes. How many times have we heard from people being like, I don't want to play. I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't want to play this week, but I'm scared I'm going to let my friends down. You're letting your friends down by not respecting yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Honestly.
I completely agree. I remember in campaign 2, I had such burnout, and it came from I'm a performative dungeon master.
Yeah.
I like to put on a bit of a show. I like to tell a big story. I
Mhm.
like to do like reveals and stuff like that. It's who I am. It's just who I am as a dungeon master. I remember one thing that I had a plan for just did not go to plan at all. And it's the moment I realized I need to stop planning, like almost completely.
Yeah.
Because I was so let down about the way that I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
And it almost just ruined the entire campaign for me.
It did. I remember after the fact, you were like, I think I'm done with this campaign, actually. You were like, I don't think I want to continue. I think you were like, it's just gotten so far away from me. I just don't want to do it anymore. And you were considering calling it quits.
Yeah, on that campaign, yeah, I was, yeah. Just because but then again, I think I really looked at my dungeon mastering situation and was like, why do I like DMing? Because I know I love it, but I feel like I've lost the reason I love it.
Yeah.
And the reason I love it is just turning up every week and telling a story.
Totally.
And thriving in the chaos.
Totally.
And letting my players know that I will thrive in the chaos.
Yeah.
And they can do anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm flying by the seat of my pants at the same time as you guys.
Yeah.
I know my story. I know the way I want it to go,
Yeah.
but I'm not married to it.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped you guys with this campaign.
It did.
Because I think you guys were just like, let's do whatever we decide.
Yeah.
There's no right, there's no wrong,
Yeah.
there's no yes, there's no no.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be even more so in the next campaign, right?
I agree.
You know, last campaign was, in my opinion, my favorite out of the 3 we've done, right?
Couldn't agree more.
But I think because it was a contained thing, if you don't know what we're talking about, you can get updates on. Oh my God, is it tomorrow? Gosh, at the time, if you're watching this on Monday, tomorrow on Patreon, our Moon Druid and our entity tiers, we give access to our monthly campaign updates. You're getting the last one. Just
remember, Moon Druids and entity tiers. We're going to be starting 1 hour earlier.
Yes, indeed. But you're going to get the end of the campaign. But if you don't know, Jack's our 3rd campaign, which is now finished, the Everflame Her Sacrifice, is a contained story in one city, right? So there was a certain and a very clear goal of what we had to do and why we were going there. So it was very contained, but I still think it was still the most free we'd ever been. And I think your next campaign, which is going to be like a more like, I don't want to use the word sandbox, a more open world game, I think. The possibilities there are going to be literally endless. And that's how you enjoy DMing. And anyone listening to that, because we hear it all the time, people being like, I could never DM like Jack, which, by the way, same. But just because that's not how you do it, doesn't mean that you're not a good DM.
Yeah, and the thing is, I couldn't dungeon master how a lot of you dungeon master.
Yeah.
Like, clearly shown. Like, when I try and plan too much, I get burnout.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it, and then I question myself if I'm even good at dungeon mastering and then want to quit.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you're all like, how can you do it? And it's just like, it's the only way I can do it.
Yeah, totally.
It's the only way I can do it,
Yeah.
because if I don't do it this way, I'll resent my game and I won't want to play it.
Yeah.
I've just got to enjoy myself. And if sometimes maybe that means, I don't know, because the thing is, I can't even really, because I'm like, I'm underprepared, but I don't think I've once felt underprepared.
No, you've never. It's never felt underprepared.
I've
no.
never ever once in our games since I've stopped prepping felt underprepared.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the point to all of that is you just said it's the only way I can do it, and you've figured that out after what 4 years, maybe not 4 years, 3 years of DMing.
I think three years to that moment.
3 years of DMing, and all of that to say you will find your way to DM as well. By the way, you will find the only way that works for you. You will find the perfect way, and when you do, you will be able to kind of step into this new era, right, of DMing. And but I think as OP says, remember, it's a hobby. It's not an obligation, and the moment it feels like an obligation,
you take a break.
Take a break.
Take a break.
Oh
There's
my
nothing wrong with
gosh.
taking a week off. There's
No.
nothing wrong with taking
A
couple of
month
sessions
off.
off.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm feeling a little bit burnt out, guys. Can somebody else run a one shot so we can still
Oh my
get
gosh,
together?
totally. And hey, look, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling up to DMing. How about we just hang out and maybe watch a movie or order some food or play Jackbox games or something like
whatever,
that.
just so we can still socialize.
Totally.
So we can still get together and see our friends and hang
but
out.
It's also okay if you just need to be left the fuck alone.
Oh, yeah,
If
you
you
deserve
just
it.
need some space, that is totally fine.
100%.
It's draining. Having to be creative, however often you are, it's hard. Not everyone can pull, well, you can't pull from a well that's empty, right?
No, there's nothing in there.
And we can't help when inspiration strikes. We can't help when we feel creative. So ride on those coattails of inspiration when you feel like that. But if you're not, don't force it.
Yeah, 100%.
No one's going to judge you.
Yeah.
No one's going to hold it against you. Your friends, hey, surprise, surprise, your friends want what's best for you.
Would you believe it?
Would you believe it?
Huh?
Even us as players, there's been weeks where I can only speak for myself, where I've been like, I really can't today. I really can't play D&D. I'm sorry. Is it okay if we just take the week off? And everyone is like, absolutely.
Yeah. And other people have said the same.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't want to be social.
Yeah, sometimes life just gets the better of you and you just need a week off.
Absolutely.
You just want to sit in your room.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there is something to be said about, like, if you're upset, I don't want you to sit in your room every week.
No.
I want you to come and see me.
Totally.
And I want you to, it'll probably make you feel better. But if you do need it for a week or two,
then take
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah, 100%.
But at the same time, I don't want you sitting there alone. I want to cheer you up and just let you know that D&D's still here and we're still here.
Yeah.
So just let your friends know that you're there for them.
Yeah, totally. And it's so true. Not every session is a banger. They can't be. They shouldn't be.
Oh, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be.
And it's okay for you to go into something like a one shot and be like, I didn't enjoy that. Hey, we don't enjoy. Have you've not enjoyed every single thing in your life, and that's okay.
That's fine. And some people just are better at running one shots than
absolutely.
campaigns.
And
Some
vice
people are better
versa.
at running campaigns than one shots.
Yeah.
Like, I know our friend Lynn tried to run a continuous campaign, and she was like, I just prefer doing one shots and smaller adventures.
Matthew, who ran, by the way, our very first D&D campaign that was nearly 2 years long. When you asked if you could become the forever DM, he was like, yeah, you know what? I prefer doing one shots. And you can tell it shines through. He really shines when he can do a condensed thing where kind of anything goes and he doesn't have to worry about the implications of anything else. And
he and I are the antithesis of each other.
Yeah, totally.
He needs full control.
Yeah.
He needs to know exactly where we're going to go, what we're going to do, everything like that.
Yeah.
And when we do veer off course, he begins to panic.
Yeah.
Whereas if I had that linearity, I'd be like, oh my God, there's too much planning.
Totally.
I would burn myself out.
Yeah, but both games are great, but for
both games are
different
great.
reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
I think great PSA.
Yeah, great PSA.
Tampa Derp 1138.
Tampa Derp 3188.
Yep. Great
Nice.
PSA. Yeah, I like it. This last one, gosh, we've gotten through these really quickly.
Have we?
Yeah.
Just remember.
True. But I mean, it's 33 minutes.
That's all right.
How long's on the other one? 15, if that.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Anyway, this last one before we get onto the art, the title is, Are You Actually Friends with Your Table? I noticed that a lot of advice and disputes on this community are actively harmful when employed at my table. I always hear, don't be the main character, let other players be the main character. And it used to make me think that it meant I should try to tone my gameplay down. But I think that I've realized that a lot of tables are set up for the purpose of D&D, while my table is a large group of friends who happen to play D&D. A lot of the horror stories and advice hinge on the concept that the players and the DMs seem to hardly know each other before playing. But at the end of the day, I know my guys just want to have fun, and because I've all known them for years, we know how to make that happen. I guess the point is, remember that your experience is different from others, and I'd encourage you not to worry about what someone from the internet arbitrarily thinks of how you play your game. So yeah, are you actually friends with your table, or is it the norm in the culture to find people explicitly just for D&D instead of getting existing friends to join the hobby?
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Because this is the thing. Like, we are in the minority. Us and OP are in the minority.
Totally, we are.
I know everybody I play with.
Same.
Like, Abby was the person I knew the least
Yeah.
because she was your friend,
Yeah.
and then you brought her into the table.
Yeah.
But now, Abby's just one of my friends who I
Yeah.
know very well.
Totally.
I know a lot about her. I know how she functions and stuff like that. And, like, the thing is, 99% of games are people who don't know each other online.
Totally.
Because of COVID.
Yeah.
And look, D&D skyrocketed just before COVID,
Yeah.
and then through COVID. I remember when, the whole, like, Critical Role got the donation thing for the animated series up just before. Like, it was hitting the very peaks, and then we went straight into COVID. And when we went into COVID, people could only play online.
Yeah.
And people were seeking for games online and stuff like that for a sense of community when they could literally get none of it.
Yeah.
So I understand what OP's saying, and I agree with it. I wouldn't apply things to my table that I would for a table of people I don't know.
Certainly.
We have never had an official session 0.
No, that's not true. Yeah,
But-
no, we have.
Not in our first game, we didn't.
Oh no, not in our first game. But to be fair, in our first game, we didn't even know about session 0.
But that's the thing, we didn't need it.
yeah, because we were all friends. Yeah.
The 4 of us knew each other.
Yeah, and I think there is a point to be made about even if you are friends, you should still.
You should.
Still.
But like sometimes I don't even follow my own advice because I don't need to follow my own advice because at my table, like, we are all open and honest communicators.
Yeah.
And we are totally fine, and we know that we can trust each other and we
Yeah.
love each other, and everything is all done for a specific reason and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So things that I apply to my table,
Yeah.
things I would apply to a table of new people who I don't know, who are all strangers.
Yeah.
I don't apply to my everyday table.
Yeah.
Because it is different, and I completely agree with OP. Like, people are allowed to be a little bit of the main character because we all know that we trust each other, that everyone's going to get that chance.
Totally.
But a group of new people and one person's getting the limelight for the first 10 sessions, they might not realize that they're going to get the limelight as well because they haven't openly and honestly communicated that with each other. It's just, there is two different rule sets. I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah, same. Now, I do think for a group of people who've never played together, a session 0 is mandatory. Mandatory.
You will crash and burn straight away without one, in my opinion.
I don't think necessarily you will crash and burn, but I think there's a higher chance you will.
The likelihood is massive.
I think, and when we say session 0, I know people be like,
safety tools,
oh, safety tools, oh God.
My feelings are so hurt by how much you care about each other. It's
oh
insane.
God, I don't want to get the laundry list out. It's like, no. A session 0, you can literally, if you're together, like face to face, you order food, you put some music on, you talk about your characters, you talk about the homebrew rules, you ask, this is the themes of the game, is everyone okay with it? What do you expect? What do you want? Do you like roleplay? Do you like combat?
Expectations are paramount.
Oh my God, 100% mandatory.
Yeah, you go into a game with a bunch of people who just want to smash through a dungeon, and you go and you have the other half of the table that just wants to role play.
Yeah,
they're not gonna get along.
Yeah.
Your game's gonna fall apart.
Yeah, and it's like, even at like a local game store, right? If you go to a local game store and you sign up for a game, you are always told beforehand, okay, yeah, we're going to be running this, Even that, in a sense, is a session 0. Just being told information prior is a session 0.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe safety tools are incredibly important.
I agree.
Incredibly so.
Mandatory.
Honestly, yeah, I do think so. And I think there is 2 different sets. I completely agree. There's 2 different ways to approach it. And I think we are in the minority.
We are.
Because D&D is something that I don't think you have to be a specific sort of person to enjoy D&D. I think anyone, and I mean this, anyone could enjoy D&D.
Because D&D can be anything.
Yeah.
D&D, some people just like to like they see a person at the table and they're like, hey, do you want to get involved in the roleplay more? And this person's like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I love sitting here and watching the drama.
Yeah.
Some people just want to just smash through combat. Some people want to, political intrigue. Some people, it's so different for every single person. It can be anything.
Yeah, totally.
Anything.
Yeah, totally. And I think, I don't know what I was going to say. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Did I interrupt you?
No. I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was adding on to your point.
No, you were.
I'm sorry.
No, you were.
Baby,
it was really relevant what you said. No, it was.
I shouldn't have done it.
No. Yeah, I think anyone can play D&D.
Anyone can.
But no, the point I was going to make was,
go, bitch, go.
Let's take the example of you're all adults in your mid to late 20s. You all have full-time jobs. Maybe some of your friends have gotten married. Some of your friends have kids.
Yeah.
Like
pets.
Yeah. Like you have some not priorities. What's the word? You have obligations as an adult. I think it's so hard, even if just one person wants to play. One person heard of Critical Role. One person heard something about D&D, and they're like, we should try it. Getting your established group of friends together in that situation is so hard. And I think that's why it's one of the reasons why it's so hard to get your existing friends to be interested, to even try it, because the barrier of entry to even having the time to trying it, I think is really hard as an adult.
Yeah, I agree. I think I couldn't agree more. Like obligations as an adult and just things that you just have to do. It's so hard to just get a game together.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think it is. I don't think I've realized until like the last year, because I think this is the campaign where we've had the least, the most stops, the most times where we've had to actually like put a pause on the campaign for a little bit, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then it's been like here and there and stuff like that. This campaign has had the shortest amount of sessions, but taken just as much time as the other ones.
Yeah.
Because we're all adults.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. And,
And we brought in an extra player as well.
Yeah, well, we did last campaign.
Yeah.
But we didn't have as many stops. But that's just because life just gets in the way. And we're all just getting older. And life just takes its course, sadly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it absolutely does. It's so, when you're casting your net to the people you know, like your actual friends, whether it be in real life or online, moving the net to the World Wide Web, where you can find whoever from wherever. Yeah, you're probably going to be playing with people you don't know, right?
Yeah, and you're gonna have to take precautions that you wouldn't have to do in your home game, because hey, it's like, I know Margaret. I know what Margaret doesn't like. I know what she does like. I know how she plays. I know how she interacts. I know what she wants. I know a lot of things about her backstory because we live together. I know exactly what she wants, what she doesn't want from that. You go take that to online. You don't only just know nothing about this person's character. You know nothing about this person.
Yeah.
You don't know what they like, what they don't like, what they've been through, where they've come from. Like, even just little things that may not bother you will bother them because they've lived a life that you haven't. It's just like, we cannot use the same rule set for my friends and strangers on the internet.
Yeah, totally.
You just can't.
And, I think another point to this is it's also okay to just be friends with someone for D&D.
Yeah.
It's okay to just play D&D with someone. You don't have to be friends outside of the game. I would say D&D lends itself to creating deeper bonds with people.
You'll probably become friends through D&D.
Hey, you really don't have to.
One thing I will say, though, about this take is I don't agree that, a bunch of randoms given fucking rules on the internet is like, I don't know, it seems like they're saying it's obviously not helpful because I don't use it for my home game.
No, that's obviously subjective.
Yeah, it's like we have to make these rules and we have to be more vigilant and we have to be different about it because we don't know each other.
Yeah.
So just because it doesn't apply to your home game
doesn't mean
we
apply
don't
to
need
no one.
them
totally.
for the online games.
Yeah, totally.
They're still really, really good rules.
Yeah.
Like, not hogging the spotlight in a game of strangers that you don't know is a good thing.
100%.
Because, you don't know these people.
Yeah.
You want everyone to have a good time. It's like, you can hog the spotlight at home because you're playing with your friends who'll, if you're taking too much of the spotlight, they'll be like, hey,
shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you
totally.
have that connection where you're okay to say that. You say, "Hey, shut up" to a person on the internet who you don't know.
Yeah.
That's not going to go down
No,
well.
totally. And, you know, I very much agree. I also think that comment actually is very relevant for someone trying to tell you how to play negatively. Someone going, oh, why'd you do that?
Oh, you plan too much as a dungeon master.
Oh my God.
You shouldn't plan at all.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, you do realize that that's really overpowered.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, like something like that. People on the internet, and we say this all the time. We start, especially our unpopular opinions and our horrible house rules episodes, with the disclaimer of what works for you and your table works for you.
Yeah.
Do not let anyone tell you otherwise.
Otherwise.
God, especially not us. And the only time that I believe that is relevant if you are being hateful or toxic, and you're hurting someone else or yourself, you know? But I think someone's trying to go, oh, that's the worst subclass. Why did you pick that? Hey, none of your fucking
Literally
business.
got nothing to do with
you. And I think that's very relevant. But I agree.
Yeah.
Just because session zeros aren't applicable
you don't need
to
them for your home game.
doesn't mean that people don't. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't use them. Totally. But I think this is just a really interesting one, and I'd be interested to know: are you friends with your D&D group? When I say friends, I mean, you know, obviously you're all friendly, but outside of the game, are you friends? Because Josh, when Josh started playing with us, I'd always known Josh and I was friendly with him. I would say Josh is my friend now, but even then, I don't hang out with Josh outside of D&D.
Well, the thing is,
because we're all busy.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like we don't really need to. We just
because I hang out with him every single week.
It's like there's nobody on this earth that I would hang out with more than once a week other than you.
Certainly.
Because we live together.
Certainly.
You know what I mean? It's like we live together, so I see you every day.
Yeah.
If I saw somebody in IRL twice a week,
too much.
That's so much.
It's too much for me.
I remember we played D&D on Wednesday and then went out for Abby's meal on Thursday, and I'd seen them and I was like, man, I don't want to see you guys until next week.
I don't want to see your faces again.
It's too much socializing. I'm 31.
Yeah.
I want to spend time with my dog.
Yeah.
I want to play WoW. We've got to do this podcast. We stream 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it is. Like,
Totally.
I wouldn't hang out with anyone more than once a week.
So, hey, neither would I.
It's just how it is.
And I think, you know, it's so okay to just play D&D with someone and not be friends with them. You
That's how
can
you hang out.
have incredibly important, impactful bonds with someone through D&D, and it doesn't have to be that serious outside a game. You could literally not talk to them outside of the game, and that's fine. On the other hand, you can become best friends. You can become partners. You know, it's okay. Whatever your relationship is, it's okay. But I would be interested to know, like, if you played with strangers, did you become friends?
Yeah.
If the campaign continued and, you know, didn't end horribly.
And have you played a game with your friends and with a game with strangers, and was it exactly the same, or did you approach it differently?
Yeah, well, God, there's also something to be said, by the way, of you can be best friends with someone IRL and not get on with them in D&D.
So many times we hear, like, I got a group of one of my friends and 3 strangers, and I love playing with the 3 strangers.
But
I hate playing with my friends.
Totally. That's
they're a
totally
nightmare.
fine. You and your friends, you don't like the same things. You will love a song, your friend will hate the song. You like a movie, your friend will hate the movie. That's normal, and D&D is exactly the same. Everyone plays D&D so differently, so it's okay to not want to play D&D with your friends because they're a nightmare.
100%.
By the way.
100%.
Interesting. Good take. All right. These last 2, God, you know what? We strung that one out.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about with all of these.
I said we this is a short episode. We went bet. So these last ones, we shall move on to the art. We have 2 art
pieces of art.
Oh, your arm's in the way.
Sorry.
The thing. Me trying to be really smooth with writing it down.
Oh my God.
Failing. So this first one. The title is, I made this poster design for fun based on the dumbest D&D meme around, and I am so sorry.
Yeah.
If you were thinking Mind Goblin, hey, you might have been right. And
ask me about my Mind Goblin.
And then, are you sure you want to ask at the bottom?
Do you want to know what? Look, it is the oldest joke in the book.
Yep.
It is hilarious
And I
every
fall
single
for it every
time it
time.
comes up, no matter what.
I fall for it every time.
But regardless of that, the art goes hard.
The art
goes
so hard.
It looks like a metal tour poster.
Yeah, it goes
like,
so fucking hard.
Hey, Cannibal Corpse touring across the USA.
Yeah,
or something like
the
that.
Mind Goblin.
The Mind Goblin tour.
Yeah.
Mind Goblin.
Man,
These nuts.
This person, AndreMuller-art, incredible artist,
Insane.
has like a whole portfolio, does commissions.
The vibrancy of the colours.
Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible.
The face that the goblins got.
Yeah.
The juicy, wrinkly brain.
So the caption is, okay, I'm sure you've heard the joke, but have you ever wondered what the hell a mind goblin would look like?
Well, feast your eyes.
And here's what my imagination came up with. My headcanon lore is this.
Oh my God.
I'm getting too jaunty.
Oh my God, jaunt.
His name is Ballin' Peanut.
Chalking my peanuts.
A goblin rogue. On a moonless night, a powerful mind flayer captured him and used him as a guinea pig for experiments. As a result, he became mad, gained psychic powers, and an increased pair of orbs. He used his powers to trick the monster and escape. Now he roams the land, causing chaos among adventurers who dare to cross his path. The legend says if you ask about him, he will listen from anywhere and he might appear in your dreams. With his big fucking orbs.
With his big mind goblin these orbs.
Yeah.
Mind goblin these orbs.
These orbs.
Very good, very funny, very hilarious. But also very good art.
Oh my God, incredible art. We will of course leave links to Andre Muller's art down below. I don't know if their commissions are open, but they do take commissions. Cool as fuck.
So
really, really, really great art. And then the last for this episode. This is titled My Human Wild Magic Sorcerer.
Wild magic sorcerer. I was trying to guess. I thought it would be a druid.
Wild Magic Sorcerer.
When I looked at the art.
And oh my God. Wow. What absolutely gorgeous art. I love the way that they have done her hair.
Hair. I know.
Is beautiful.
Like the black and the grey.
Yeah. Oh my
so
God.
good.
Even like just the texture of the hair.
The moss on the skirt.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Stunning. Absolutely
the marks
stunning.
on the skin, the vitiligo, I think it is on the arms.
It is. Yeah. The staff, man, absolutely gorgeous.
Looks
Honestly,
so good.
even just like the
The
background art
detail
is
is
stunning.
just insane.
Absolutely
Insane
beautiful.
and wild. What
Beautiful.
a beautiful piece of art.
And the caption on this one is Finch Blackwood, a wild magic sorcerer that ran away from her home after failing to live up to her family's expectations. She's very timid and would rather avoid using her magic for fear of causing some awful effect. Unfortunately for her, she's been put in a situation where she will have to face her fears and stop holding back. I made her for an upcoming Curse of Strahd campaign, which is probably a big mistake, considering how deadly the campaign is supposed to be, haha. But I really wanted to have some fun with the chaos that comes with wild magic. Hopefully it won't end with our entire party going up in flames because of a random fireball spawning on the first session. What's a fireball between friends?
What's
you
a
know?
fireball between friends? I remember when Josh played a Wild Magic Sorcerer in our one shot, and obviously it triggers on a 20, isn't it?
Yep.
Josh didn't roll a single 20, and he might as well just not add a subclass.
Doesn't it trigger on a 1 as well, or is that just a homebrew thing?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it only triggers on a 20. I can't remember.
I don't
but
know.
basically, it just didn't trigger at all, and it was like, I've just basically just not had a subclass.
I haven't had a subclass this whole entire game.
I do think it should trigger more.
Yeah.
There should be ways to be able to just trigger it if you want to.
Yeah. And
like spend a sorcery point on a spell to trigger it.
Totally. And I know that
whatever.
there's all sorts of homebrew
Loads.
tables as well.
Wild Magic is probably one of the most homebrewed things.
Which is fun. I like that. That's good fun.
Unless it's like
unless
you cast a spell and you start gobbling a fucking
gobbling these
nuts.
These nuts.
Gobbling these nuts.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. This has been done by Stealthily Depressed. We of course leave any links to their art below if they have them. And that's it.
That's it.
Hey, that's it.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm starved.
I said last night I want to make a tuna sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Do you fancy that? Fancy tuna sandwich? I have to go and get the stuff, but I do fancy tuna sandwich.
Hi, honey. Oh, goodness.
Hello, sweet pea.
Oh,
You're
hi,
so
sweet
handsome.
boy. Oh, he's staring. Wow.
Yes, he do be staring.
Wow, he do be staring.
Thank you so much for being here. It was great to see you. Make sure that you go and check out our sponsor for today's episode, Many Worlds Tavern. Thank you so much again to them. Again, go and use code Podblast for 10% off their store. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go and check out our Pride collection. If you want to go and check out our Pride collection and buy anything from there, you will be supporting a local charity to us, an LGBTQIA plus charity near us in the northeast of England. Check out our Patreon in the description. That's a great way to support the podcast.
Yeah, we're doing our last campaign update tomorrow if you fancy joining.
All of the VODs are there if you do want to catch up with the campaign
totally.
updates and stuff like that. You
Yes.
totally can. It's never too late. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. I love you so much.
Oh my gosh. I love you too.
Bully loves you.
Yep.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
We have been the Eldritch Podblast. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
God. We're going to see you on Thursday. Bye.
And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities.
Hoobs,
Ariel,
Tula,
Runarian,
Arkham Labs Cosplay,
Maddie, Luna,
Teddysaurus,
Caspian, J-Spot,
Ultrafail,
Dallin M,
Sleepy,
Joe Dragonlord 2,
Alistar,
Lawkeeper Society,
Ricky B,
Danny Phantom,
Catherine,
Faustskin,
Azuriel,
Panda Queen Plays,
Xylo Boy,
Lucas Iapetus,
Luna River, Christomancy,
The Tacos Are Here,
Gavin,
Raynanana,
Aubrey in Spring,
Scrimbles,
KC Joe 1313.
Keplin 1000. Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.